Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight Podcast presented by CVG. I'm your host, Sarah Brookbank, and I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I would like to say welcome back to the work week. Today on the podcast, we are joined by Jill Prendergast of Dennig. She shares how their fractional financial services can help solve common pain points for local businesses. We are also joined by the team at Leadership Excelleration. They share the details of their recently launched Leadership Hub Live. Thank you to our podcast sponsors, CVG, our title sponsor, C-Crew Consulting, our digital sponsor, and our episode sponsor, Schneller & Ackelman. We have an exciting new event happening on Thursday, December 12th. The Northern Kentucky Chamber is partnering with Life Learning Center to present HR 100 and Inclusive Business Strategies Morning of Impact. This event is free to attend, and attendees are asked to bring new or gently used professional clothing and accessories to donate to Life Learning Center's Clothing Closet. You can learn more and register at nkychamber.com/events. Now, let's go hear from our sponsors, meet our members of the week, and I'll be back with this week's guests.
Why would you travel to England?
For football.
To go or not to go?
That is an easy question.
To visit the land of Shakespeare.
To take in all the sights.
Authentic fish and chips.
To experience arts and culture.
2 words, British Open.
To visit my family.
Same reason I go anywhere. For a pint of beer. To start my trip through Europe.
Whatever your reason, there's no better time than now.
Congratulations to our members of the week. You can learn more about these businesses by following the Northern Kentucky Chamber on social media, where we will highlight one of these businesses each day. Now let's meet our members of the week. Vital Medical is a functional health telemedicine practice dedicated to optimizing hormone balance, peptide therapy, metabolic health, and longevity. At Acute Urgent Care, they are committed to providing convenient, affordable, and high-quality veterinary urgent care while celebrating their dedicated team. Trying to navigate the ever-changing marketing landscape can take you down winding roads that lead to nowhere. Punchbug Marketing is here to help. Empower Nutrition is an independently operated family business driven by the purpose of guiding their beloved community toward a vibrant, active lifestyle. The Southgate House Revival is an independently owned and operated live music and events venue located in a historic 1966 renovated church. Hi, everyone. Today on the podcast, I am joined by Jill Prendergast of Dennig. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about everything that Dennig has to offer clients and what you guys do. Let's jump right in. Tell us a little bit about your services and what you guys do.
So Dennig is a CPA firm regionally. We're out of 4 different markets, but the area that I focus on is client accounting and advisory. So you can think of it as fractional accounting services. We have the same level of talent you would find in industry positions from CFO all the way down to staff accountant, but they just go and work with a variety of clients on a fractional basis.
Yeah, and tell us what fractional means and what it's like in comparison to like a traditional accounting.
So traditional accounting staffing is, you get a staff accountant or a controller 40 hours a week. They're on your engagement for an interim period of time. The fractional world is meant for people who don't need 40 hours, but need reoccurring services. So fractional is just another way of saying part-time. Mm-hmm. And so we have talent that can work on a variety of accounts from 2 clients, depending on size, up to 8 clients. And our talent likes to, see different industries, see different ways of doing things, and be able to bring that value to other clients that they get engaged with.
Right. And one of the things that you do and what you say is that you guys are working to solve common pain points for your clients. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about what those pain points are and how you guys work to solve them.
So pain points for our clients can be, banking relationships, lending, opportunities of helping them, expanding financial literacy throughout their organization with their operations team so that they understand the numbers. It can be just simply getting their financials in a format that is readable and can help them make informed decisions, KPIs, strategic planning on when to hire, budgets, those kind of things. Our talent has the ability to handle that, as well as the transactional level. So we have advisors we deem as CFO, controller, accounting manager, but we also have that infrastructure of staff accountant, senior accountant that can work. So you get almost a team approach with us. It's not a one-to-one relationship all the time, which is nice.
Yeah, you kind of like find what your client needs and provide those needs. So when you're talking about like how you work with your clients to meet those needs and like figuring out how things fit, what's your process like?
So we start out with discussion. Usually it's myself or another senior manager goes out and does a 2 to 3 hour discovery session. Mm-hmm. Let's look under the hood. Let's see what they're about. Let's see what their needs are. Let's find the gaps. And we completely customize our services to meet those needs, and also are, relatively aware of their size and what their budget constraints can be too, because a full-time resource can be pretty expensive.
Right.
And so we don't have that overhead cost and all the extra fringe benefits as well. So we go in and just kind of meet their needs for the period of time they need.
Mm-hmm. When you talk about the fringe benefits, you already mentioned that people basically get a whole team when they hire you on. Tell us a little bit more about the benefits of hiring a fractional.
So the nice thing about hiring a fractional is it's on us if we have turnover. So usually the organization, if they lose someone, they feel that weight. Right. We have the ability to have people kind of associated with different accounts and are able to kind of seamlessly know if we lose someone internally, it's on us to step in and fulfill that need and not have it be hugely impactful for the organization. So that's one of the promises we deliver. The other fringe benefit, I think, is you get to tap into the ability of someone who has seen it in a variety of different ways. Mm-hmm. Instead of a lot of times people in accounting have just learned it the way they've always done it or the way the previous person had taught them. When an example is we have a fractional controller who is touching 4 different industries right now, but the 4 different industry knowledge actually plays with each other because 2 of the industries are impactful to each other. So they're able to take that knowledge of one industry and bring it over into the other and explain better and help that leadership team make better strategic informed decisions that's future focused and not just here and now. A lot of people think of accounting as they're just looking at what's happened. Our team is able to look at what's happened, what's going on, and what's the future look like, and really get that moving for our clients.
Yeah, and that sounds so beneficial for so many different types of organizations. And like you said, you guys work across a number of industries. So tell us a little bit about the industries that you serve and the types of organizations that would be a good fit for you guys.
So we look kind of to the revenue size to define our clients, but we also look for growth. So we want someone who wants to be growing. But the revenue size is 3 million to 100 million, in my opinion, and others in the industry. When you get to 100 million, it's more likely you're going to need that full-time resource. Right. And so we come in for a variety of hours customized to those needs. And the industries we play in there isn't one we don't. So we have a huge nonprofit. We're in construction. We're in wholesale, logistics, have some manufacturing, professional service organizations, healthcare. So it's really the fractional model has been embraced by a lot of industries because it's meeting the talent gap need. There aren't as many people coming out with an accounting degree or a finance degree. There are not as many people just in general in the market to be able to facilitate all the needs. And so this allows, people to find talent to help meet their needs, but also on their budget.
Yeah, that sounds like it's me checking a lot of boxes you're talking to clients. Yeah. So for people who are interested in learning a little bit more or maybe getting started in the process of working with Barnes Dennig, how can people get more information?
The best way is to go out to barnesdennig.com, BARNESDEINNIG.com, and look up client accounting and advisory. It's one of the services, but we have a whole slew of services within our firm. So but we're out on the page and it's got great information.
Yeah, makes it easy to get in touch, makes it easy to get started. And Jill, it has been so great to talk with you today about Barnes Dennig. Before I let you go, is there anything else that our viewers and listeners need to know about your organization?
I just think the only thing you need to know about is we deem ourselves a breed of our own. We're a little different in that we want to be, helping you in the current, but also helping you plan for your future and making sure you're aligned with your goals and that they're feasible from a financial perspective, but also the internal operational processes that people don't always put a huge value on. It's hard to scale if you don't have those processes. So we come in and help that. So the idea is that our team is full of change agents who love to just try and find new ways to help add value to an organization.
Yeah, well, that is so great. Well, Jill, thank you so much for your time today. It was great to talk with you.
Thank you for having me.
Ranking on Google Search and Maps is easy to understand, but hard to do. It requires constant effort and attention, uploading new photos, responding to Google reviews, writing weekly posts, and checking suggested updates. Google listing optimization takes experience and time, and there are no shortcuts. C-Crew gives your Google My Business account the steady, consistent attention it needs to be effective, optimizing, updating, and expanding critical content every single week. From local retail stores to large regional networks, C-Crew generates content, establishes benchmarks, and creates dramatic, measurable increases in engagement. So what can C-Crew do for your business? More calls, more clicks, more clients.
Chris Knockelman with Schneller Knockelman Plumbing, Heating, and Air. It's spring now, but before you know it, our ACs are working overtime.
Dave, it's going to be warm soon.
Right now is a good time to get the AC serviced, right?
You can get your AC tuned up for only $59.
So get your $59 tune-up at
SKPHA.com. SKPHA. So if your plumbing and mechanical systems give you trouble, just remember our name, Schneller Knockelman.
Hi, everyone. Today on the podcast, I am joined by Beth Conger and Diane Egbers of Leadership Excelleration. Ladies, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is so great to have you guys. I'm excited to talk a little bit about your organization. So let's jump right in. Tell us about Leadership Excelleration.
So Leadership Excelleration, I founded more than 25 years ago with a passion to develop leaders, Shannon. And part of that was really around this idea that we need help and support at different times, in leadership to really get to optimal performance, to outcomes, and to really realize our career potential.
Right. Anything else to add on that end? I know you have been with the company not the full time, so you are also a member of the company working on leadership development as well.
Yes. So I had the pleasure of meeting Diane a couple of years back when I owned my own shop. And I was just really inspired by the way Diane thinks about leadership development. It's very different than anything I had experienced going through corporate America. She has a mantra that is all about shifting mindsets, providing key tool sets, and being able to build the skill sets from that mindset shift and tool set that really can help you just become a different and better, more productive version of yourself as a leader. And she put into words things that I was thinking, but I couldn't quite figure out how to articulate them. So in the last couple of years, it's just really been a pleasure to work alongside Diane and really take a leader from where they are, understand what some of their opportunities are, and help them just shift those mindsets with a couple of key tools to really catapult their ability to just be the best leaders they can be.
Yeah, that's so great. And so tell us a little bit about your services, because when it comes to leadership development, it can be a really big range. So what do you guys do specifically?
So given our deep kind of leadership development background, coaching, and then organizational development, we have a unique approach to come alongside leaders and leadership teams to work toward transformation. Sometimes it's transformation of performance. Sometimes it's transformation going through a major organizational change. Sometimes it's transformation to get leaders ready for the path ahead. Right now, given the talent environment we're in, it's very much to help leaders with regard to succession. We have significant gaps currently with regard to, where senior leaders are and where that next level of leadership is ready to take on responsibility. And so whatever that organizational transformation is, that's where, we're the best partner.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that leadership environment. There are a lot of things happening in that world, things that I'm sure you guys are seeing from an outside kind of consultant perspective. What are you guys seeing in leadership development, those gaps?
Sure. So do you want to start with one?
Sure.
I'll follow.
That sounds great. One of the biggest ones is change. And this is nothing new, but it is at a pace that I don't think we have seen before. It is constant. And so it's helping everybody understand what you can control in the moment and how you need to lean in and lean back, how we can collaborate with each other more effectively. And part of the change that we're also seeing that people are navigating is the generational gaps. This is the first time, I think, in our workforce that there are 5 generations in the workforce active right now. And all the generations think, operate, are motivated by different things. But at the end of the day, every generation wants to do good work. They want to make an impact. From the younger generations, it's more purpose-driven impact. From the older generations, it's more, getting the work done well with good quality and tenacity. But at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. So a lot of the work that we're doing, and when we think about change also, is just changing your perceptions of the people who you work with to understand that every generation has a superpower, and how do we tap into those?
Right.
And so in addition, Shannon, what we would say, and this is to kind of go more specifically into the change, and it's really about technology. Technology is superseding right now human intelligence. And so part of that is really preparing leaders around, with generative AI, what are the things that are going to be uniquely human? What are the things that are going to be sustainable? And how do we encourage leaders to shift that vital mindset toward AI and think about it as your job companion, as your teammate, as your way to succeed? And so we're doing a lot of new work in that area because we believe that this next generation of leaders are going to be rapidly facing a time when they're going to have to really be versatile and to keep themselves viable, to really understand, what are the things that I should invest in terms of my development and my time, and what are the things that I can really use AI for that don't require the best strategic use of me.
Right. I think that is such a relevant topic. I know a lot of our members are thinking about AI. I know I'm personally thinking about AI in my daily life. Tell us a little bit more about that, because I think that's such an interesting topic right now.
Sure. So for senior leaders, what we're really looking at is, in organizations. So when you're leading at an enterprise level, what are the things that you need to be coaching up the next level to use, and how do you remain an ethical organization? So, there are ethics around what information you use, and the very best scenarios are those scenarios that you're using your own content, but accelerating the efficiency by which you use it. And so lots of ways to do that. Instead of spending several hours to summarize a report, you might get to the report summary and then ask, AI to then give you bullet points under each summary, so that it's more easily consumable by the next level of leaders. And so what we all really have to do is maintain that learning mindset about all the new apps that are coming out, things that you can help your team with to be more efficient. And so for most of us, it's really about keeping an open mind and seeing that the more viable your skill set is around AI is because you're keeping up with it.
Right.
And I think the change reaction to it is to be overwhelmed, to have it be daunting, right? And so what we want to encourage leaders to do is to really step in and even just engage a little of time, a little every day.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I want to stay on the technology kind of subject while we're on it. You guys also have a leadership development platform. It's called Leadership Hub Live. Tell us a little bit about that program and that platform.
Yeah, so we are really excited to launch Leadership Hub Live at the beginning of next year. This is a virtual live facilitated platform. So all of the great facilitation and knowledge and insights that we have, we bring to bear through this platform where people can hop on from the comfort of their own offices, no matter where they are in Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, even regionally, and participate with each other to learn really key critical information. So AI is one of the courses that we're going to be offering. We're also going to be offering new leader onboarding at different levels. And so this is an opportunity for people to not only learn great content, but also interact and engage and learn from peers from outside and inside their organizations.
Yeah, go on. It looks like you want something else to add on that.
Sure. I always have something to add.
Yes.
No. So then in addition to, everything we've talked about, we also are seeing dynamic changes in the workforce. And so many more companies have dispersed, remote, hybrid situations, and they're not going to come back to the office full time. And so that means that it's more challenging than ever for learning and development professionals to really meet the needs of people that are dispersed, remote, or hybrid. And so this is as viable, though, we want to say, for an intact team, to go through as it is for a dispersed or remote team member. But it offers them something in many organizations that they're not getting now, which is the highest quality leadership in cohort groups, facilitated so that they can have breakouts with peers. And our hope for organizations is that people feel more connected. They feel like they belong more, and they're identifying that investment in them with the company, that they're currently working for. And so it's the best retention strategy to come along in a long time. In addition, obviously, to accelerating your leadership talent.
Right. A lot of different pieces that really just goes to show, it sounds like you guys are doing things a little bit differently than a lot of other organizations are in the region when it comes to leadership development. It seems like you've thought about this from a lot of different angles. I know you guys really wanted to talk about your why. So tell us a little bit about why you're doing this and how it makes you guys stand out.
I'll just take the last 24 hours. I got to coach, I think, 5 leaders in the last day. And it's that moment where a leader will either say, what we talked about last time, like if we're in a coaching situation, I went and applied it and I got such good feedback. And, so it's that moment where they realize themselves that something that we're working on, they're capable of and they can do. So it's the building confidence that's so satisfying. But it's also just helping them to make the connections, and we just enjoy so much, the individual and the collective, just seeing people realize their potential. It's the most satisfying part. Okay.
Yes, I echo everything Diane said. For me too, and it kind of goes back to my first answer around the pace of change right now. We are all moving so fast and so furiously to get from point A to point B to tackle the 15 things on our list that a lot of times we don't take time to just pause and think about things differently or with a broader point of view. And I originally got into coaching because I had a coach, and that coach was so instrumental in helping me just take a beat and recognize, hey, the way that I'm thinking about this isn't the only way to think about this. And so, like Diane, when we're with individuals, when we're with teams, and you see people say to you, oh my gosh, I didn't think about it that way. Or in a group dynamic, when we're having breakouts in a lot of our facilitation and someone says something and somebody else on the team says, that makes sense as to why you do things the way you do them now. All of those individual light bulbs are these magic moments that really help you recognize that you can do things differently. It builds collaboration, it builds trust, all the things that are important for teams. And individually, it just helps you see the world from a broader perspective. And I think that's where your power lies.
Yeah, I think that's so important for a lot of different organizations, and probably really resounds with some of our chamber membership right now as they're undergoing a lot of change. As you mentioned, the workforce is changing a lot. So for people who are listening to this talk and really want to get in touch with you all, what's the best way to do that?
So the best way is our website, lei-consulting.com, and then to contact us directly, because we have somebody that is there every day taking those phone calls. And so that contact information is on our website.
Well, perfect. So Beth and Diane, it's been so great to have you guys on the podcast today. Before I let you go, any last final thoughts that our members need to know about leadership acceleration?
So for me, it's that we are in service of our clients. The clients that we have the privilege to work with day in and day out are amazing. They have so many good things going for them. And what we do is come in and step alongside them and help support their growth to upskill their future talent. So transformation is just inevitable for them.
And, we see everyone on this journey of development. And so our job is to acknowledge all of the strengths, all of the successes they've had already, and just really help build upon those. And, and so we meet them wherever they are in their journey and want to walk with them, as Beth said.
That is great. Well, Diane, Beth, thank you both so much for coming on the podcast today. It was really great to speak with you both.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Housing is a regional priority. Having an ample supply of homes is fundamental for the Northern Kentucky region to meet basic economic needs and enable regional growth. Learn more about income-aligned housing, the region's housing needs, and why it is essential to ensure Northern Kentucky continues to be a great place to live, work, play, learn, and give back at bit.ly/NKY Housing Study.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed learning more about Barnes Dennig and leadership acceleration on today's episode of the podcast. Thank you to our podcast sponsors, CBG, Secret Consulting, and Schneller Knockelman. And don't forget to register for the HR 100 and Inclusive Business Strategies Morning of Impact happening on Thursday, December 12th. Like I said, this is a new event, so you can learn more at nkychamber.com/events. Finally, if you're a member who would like to be featured on the podcast, or if you're someone who is interested in joining the Northern Kentucky Chamber, please reach out to Lynn Ablin. And if you're a member who would like to share your workforce strategies and resources on the podcast, please reach out to Nancy Spivey. You can find their contact information on the screen in front of you if you are a viewer, and our listeners can find that, as always, at nkychamber.com. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys next week.